A good evening to you all, and thank you very much for joining us here on Rwanda Television News. We do hope you had yourselves a very productive Thursday. Now here's a sneak peek of our edition tonight. The National Electoral Commission has warned those who submitted their candidatures for their upcoming parliamentary and presidential elections against engaging in illegal activities. Rwandans have again been called upon not to pay attention to international media reports meant to try and discredit all that has been achieved in the country over the last 3 decades. We're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. My name is Martina Abera. The National Electoral Commission has warned those who submitted their candidatures for the upcoming parliamentary and presidential elections against engaging in illegal activities, because any caught doing so will immediately be removed from the list of candidates. Journalists have also been urged not to break any laws in their reporting or face the legal implications of doing so. This comes as the National Electoral Commission on Thursday concluded its activities of accepting candidatures for both the presidential and parliamentary elections. 2 political parties submitted candidates to stand in the presidential elections, those being the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda and the RPF Inkotanyi Party, while 7 independent candidates also submitted their documents to stand for election to the highest office in the country. In the parliamentary elections, 6 political parties submitted their lists for candidates, while other candidates also submitted their documents to the National Electoral Commission to stand in the special categories, including independent candidates. On the 6th of June, provisional lists will be released by the Commission, and aspiring candidates will have until the 14th of June, when the final list will be released, to submit any missing documents in their dossiers. No campaigning will be allowed before the period of the 22nd of June to the 13th of July, and anyone engaging in such activities before that time period will be penalized and risk disqualification from the elections themselves. Rwandans have again been called upon not to pay attention to international media reports meant to try and discredit all that has been achieved in the country over the last 3 decades, because such baseless rumors should not take up that can be used for other more productive activities. On Thursday morning, the deputy spokesperson of the government of Rwanda held an extended interview with RBA, noting that the timing of such reports is a clear indication that they are targeting the presidential and parliamentary elections of July. Alain Mukurarinda also noted that there is nothing new about the false allegations being circulated in the reports and their attempts to tarnish the image of the country and all of its achievements, pointing out that they are designed to create divisionism at a time when Rwandans should be all more united. He observed that people here in Rwanda are in the best position to determine for themselves the validity of such reports, absurd as they may be, and that it is ludicrous that those individual thousands of miles away would believe that they know better than the people in the country they are talking about. Moving on, parliamentarians have voted on a draft law that will govern cooperatives meant to address problems in their management that sometimes led to the exploitation of their members. The new law will seek to protect the shares of members and shield them from any malpractices of management of cooperatives without the knowledge of their general assemblies.
We are here in the Parliament for the session discussing the cooperative law. And one of the key things that have been featured in this cooperative law is the alignment of the cooperative law with the international standards regarding the exchange of information for tax purposes, combating tax evasion, financing of terrorism. So now the law is requiring cooperative members to always do due diligence on their members to ensure they keep their books of information about their beneficial owners and share this information where necessary to with the tax administration. The other element that this cooperative law is changing is that it's now requiring the managers or the board of the cooperatives to report their wealth. Every year they have to report their wealth so that the cooperatives are not mismanaged. In case they are mismanaged, it could be easier for the cooperative members to trace where their value or their money went. The other change that is very fundamental is that the cooperative law that was existing really did not have flexibility in terms of the making of the meetings. So it was requiring, actually, initially it was requiring the General Assembly to only convene in March and October. But now the new cooperative law is going to allow flexibility for members to convene anytime in an extraordinary meeting, so which is going to help in the management of cooperatives. The other thing that has been refined is that the cooperative law now binds the cooperative members not to divert from their main activity. If you have a license to do a cooperative, or your legal personality has been awarded by the agents on ground that you are doing transport, you cannot divert into agriculture. So it has confined members of cooperative to only do business activities that they registered themselves on. So those are main changes. The trust, especially the mismanagement, has been curbed in the new law, because you would find that cooperatives were not trusting the cooperative leaders. But now, with the new law, it is really a requirement for the cooperative members to always be transparent amongst themselves to ensure, because they are sharing the power is the same. You cannot use a number of shares to override the decision of the cooperative, because now the shares are the same, the power of control are the same. So any decision to be made, it has to be a popular decision. So we believe the cooperative law is really aligned to benefit members in general.
The new law will increase the shares of profits distributed among cooperative members and penalize managers that do not regularly call for general assemblies as they should. The UN has honored its peacekeepers, including 2 RDF soldiers who died last year during peacekeeping missions. The UN Secretary General took the time to call on the world to denounce conflict that has continued to claim the lives of innocent civilians globally, and brave men and women to risk everything to bring peace back to troubled areas. For 76 years, United Nations peacekeepers have worked to save and change lives in the world's most fragile political and security situations. Since 1948, more than 2 million uniformed and civilian personnel have helped countries to transition from war to peace. The UN Secretary took the time to call on the world to denounce the conflict that has continued to claim the lives of innocent civilians globally, and brave men and women to risk everything to bring peace back to troubled areas.
Ago, I laid a wreath at the Peacekeepers Memorial. I pay tribute to the more than 4,300 women and men who have lost their lives while serving under the United Nations flag since 1948. This includes military, police, civilian personnel, and our national staff. The memory of our fallen blue helmets reminds us of the tragic human cost of conflict. Each loss underscores the urgent need to prevent violence, protect the most vulnerable, and spare no efforts to end these deadly conflicts. This year, we honor with the Dag Hammarskjöld medals the 61 peacekeepers from 33 countries who paid the ultimate price for the cause of peace last year. We share our deepest sympathies with the families and friends. We will never forget them.
Out of 895 bright students who excelled in the 2022-2023 national examination and participated in the teaching assistantship program, 248 have applied for education courses at the University of Rwanda. These students served as teaching assistants in various secondary schools across the country for 6 months. On Thursday, during the commissioning of these top-performing students, this was noted as a significant success of teaching assistantship projects. Olive Nete has more with this report.
These are among the 895 students who excelled in the national examinations and participated in the teaching assistantship program. They worked across the country in 116 host schools. The project aims to enhance the quality of teaching and learning by recruiting and training bright and passionate young people during their transition year from high school to tertiary education as teaching assistants. Some of the students who participated in the program shared their experiences.
I never anticipated to be here. I never thought I would be ever a teacher, because sitting as a high school student, as a secondary student, we viewed teachers as people who come in front of us and give us just content, and then we get the content as students, but nothing else. But as I spent 6 months in this project, learning from teachers and from mentors, I really learned to appreciate teachers and their career. It's a very, very good career. It's an honorable duty to be a teacher. Firstly, I improved myself as a person in order to give back to the society. This project really took me afar and made me think about myself, made me able to plan, because teaching involves planning. And before, I wasn't really a good planner, but right now I can plan my day all along, and I could really go along with it.
During the commissioning ceremony for the 895 students, they were awarded certificates. Previously, they had also received laptops to support in their further university studies. The Teaching Assistantship Project, a collaboration between Inspire Educate and Empower Rwanda, the MasterCard Foundation and the Rwanda Basic Education Board, was established to improve education generally. Emmanuel Murenzi, the country director of IEE in Rwanda, highlighted the positive results the project has yielded since its inception.
One, first of all, they support the classroom teachers. As we know, Rwanda, like any other country, we have big numbers, which is also very good because of access, free access to primary education and secondary education. When we have such numbers, at times we need to make sure that a teacher is supported. So the teaching assistant is more of a supporting hand. As the teacher is teaching, they are able to manage different groups, be able to support those who are really struggling in certain topical areas. So river on that, but also it helps these people to grow up knowing that they have a role to play in supporting their young brothers and sisters to be able to excel the same way they did. So they've served as role models. Some of those that have been part of this program this year were taught by the last cohort, so they were inspired. So you can see that there's that role model spillover effect.
David Rurangirwa, country director at the MasterCard Foundation, a partner in the teaching assistantship program with IEE, commended the students for their outstanding work as teaching assistants.
We've seen this energy and vibrancy and really young people taking on the challenge to help siblings, to help our children excel in school. And in line with the government's vision of improving education through a competency-based curriculum. And so we are seeing it's quite impressive to see the young people embracing this challenge and leading us to implement this competency-based curriculum where it is hands-on, explaining these concepts. We really want to commend you. So I just want to thank you all for also standing out, because the people who are gathered in this room, close to 900, you all represent the best performance in this country. And to see that you have these great achievements and first-class grades, you are not only learning to be teachers, but you're also inspiring your siblings.
Of the current cohort, 248 students have already applied for education courses at the University of Rwanda College of Education. Dr. Nelson Barushimana, Director General of the Rwanda Basic Education Board, notes that this is a big milestone.
This not only reflects the success of the project, but also demonstrates our commitment to developing high qualified teachers who will shape the future of our nation. For those pursuing different career paths, your advocacy for education will be invaluable in promoting the importance of education in Rwanda's social-economic development.
This is the third cohort, and since the program's inception, 1,985 teaching assistants have been trained. The teaching assistantship project is expected to last 5 years. The current third cohort has seen 895 young people participate, with 70% being female and 30% male. Additionally, 70% of these students have studied STEM subjects, while 30% have pursued humanities courses. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive, for that report. The Our Prize project of Enabel, in collaboration with the government of Rwanda, has presented awards to the best female entrepreneurs with impact of this year of 2024. The winners are to receive training that will enable their companies to make even more progress.
It's very important to award women entrepreneurs who have a positive impact because they can be a very inspiring role model. In many places in the world, it is more difficult for a woman than for a man to become an entrepreneur for many reasons. And it is important to inspire women who wish to become an entrepreneur by showing them some role models. And the winners that we are awarding today are real role models.
The government of Rwanda has reiterated its commitment to helping female entrepreneurs to develop and play their part in the country's economic aspirations.
We keep the momentum to create a community where women can thrive as a business leaders and innovators. The government of Rwanda believes that every Rwandan should be given the opportunity, the skills, and the right environment to evolve into the person they want to be. We also believe and work hard to ensure this process is not limited by the agenda, religion, or any other factor. One of the areas which still requires further efforts is women and girls in entrepreneurship. Women entrepreneurs, even though confronted with more barriers than their male counterparts, they are active in all sectors of our economy, from agriculture to retail, health to education, innovation to technology.
The Our Prize project was launched back in the year of 2022. World Vision has launched a new program called Enough, aiming to end child malnutrition in Rwanda. This 3-year campaign is designed to ensure that children in Rwanda receive healthy nutrition, promoting their proper growth and development. Charlene Furaha for the details.
It's great honor to be with you.
The World Vision Rwanda is committed to focusing the next 3 years on reducing hunger and improving nutrition for 1.5 million children in Rwanda. This campaign, Enough, will be tailored to respond to the specific needs of the country, building on existing programs like Hehe Nigwingire. The National Director of World Vision Rwanda said that ending malnutrition is essential for a better future and prosperity for the country and its development.
As we all know, malnutrition is a silent crisis affecting the most vulnerable amongst us, and these are the children, our children. It stunts their growth, impairs their cognitive development, and leaves lasting scars on their futures. At World Vision, just like all of you present here today, we believe that every child deserves to grow up healthy, strong, and full of dreams. This belief drives our work and fuels our passion. By uniting to end malnutrition, we are fighting for the future of countless children and the prosperity of the nation.
The Enough campaign aligns with the Sustainable Development Goals 2 and 3, which aim to end hunger and promote good health and well-being. The Director General of the National Child Development Agency stated that Rwandan government is committed to providing assistance to ensure sustainability and increased productivity.
NCDA recognizes that proper nutrition is foundational to a child's growth, cognitive development, and overall health. I want to assure you that World Vision and other partners, organizations, that government of Rwanda will continue to collaborate with you. We are committed to providing and unwavering support to ensure the success and sustainability of this vital partnership. We will not spare any effort to make this collaboration fruitful and impactful. In addition, we are working closely to support vulnerable families, helping them to graduate out of poverty through sustainable programs.
Parents and partners expressed their happiness with this program and have thanked both the government and World Vision for this initiative.
As we can start in our homes, in our families, before we go for campaign for others, we think that this can start for us, because we are the ones who brew the family, the Rwandan families. Now, if we start in our families and say enough, we don't see any malnutrition to children, we see the children with enough food at table, that's when we start from us. It will be easy also to reach to other people, and so that the campaign can bring a good solution and a good impact to the Rwandan societies.
Recent statistics show that around 30% of children in Rwanda still suffer from malnutrition. It is within this context that World Vision Rwanda launched the Enough campaign, working with various stakeholders to raise awareness and accelerate efforts to end chronic malnutrition in Rwanda. To promote this initiative, the campaign has appointed Israel Mbonyi, a renowned Rwandan gospel artist, as the new brand ambassador. Charlene Furaha, RTV News.
And that marks the end of our bulletin. On behalf of the news production team as well as the technical team, we would like to thank you very much for sticking with us on RTV News. Stay safe and have a great night.